What is going on, guys? It is Dat Boy Lanny back again with you today for another episode of Operation Zoomer. And today I have YaBoyScotty coming on to talk about some very pressing issues about the country and the black community. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get right into it. I'll tell the people who you are, give some tags,
Yeah,
whatever.
guys, I'm your boy Scotty. I'm like the whitest nigger you can meet. So basically, if you go on any type of Instagram reel, right, and you see like these sort of racial content niche type videos, that's what I do. So basically, I'm that black friend that every white guy says I'm not racist. This is what my black friend is like. I'm basically that type of guy. So I mainly started my videos to talk about issues of the black community. Then I got suspended from my university. Everyone that was associated with me, for the most part, most of them acted as if they never knew me and never wanted anything to do with me. But I got to figure out who the real ones are in my life and who's always going to be there no matter what.
Nice. Do you just want to like plug your ads so that people could find you? I'll put them in the description anyway. I'll put the
Yeah.
links, but
So I have two accounts now because Jews and shadow banning go together like wine on rice. Mine is your boy Scotty, and the other one's your boy Scotty with a YR. I'll give you the info to that later. I want to stream on Rumble for the future. Not sure, never streamed, but I would like to talk to people that follow me and really like resonate with the community and get in contact with more people on the far right.
nice. So you're an MMA fighter. Is that is that correct?
I'm not a fighter, but I've done meet and greets with fighters. I've done MMA seminars with fighters. I'm hoping Joshua Van and Jorge Masvidal, I get to see one of them in Jersey before I leave and go to Atlanta. But I'm a huge fan of the sport. My favorite fighter is Oliveira. I can't wait for the White House card tonight, actually. I'm really stoked for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, I got Ilya. I hope Pereira knocks out Edward fucking Scissorhands. I really can't stand Gon, man. He's the definition of Dana White privilege. I know Tony said that about Chandler, but I mean the fifth fucking title shot for what? I just can't. He's
Right.
just such a cock. I can't stand him.
So you say Demetrius Johnson's the goat. I'm a John Jones guy myself. I know,
I
but
understand.
I just kind of want to get your
So,
thoughts on that. Maybe.
well, I always look at resumes, and people can say, "Well, look at John Jones's resume; it just keeps going up, 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 and up." I agree, but I look at Demetrius. He fought in 125, 135. Granted, it's flyweight for the UFC versus flyweight for one championship, but I'd argue some of the smaller guys in flyweight and in bantamweight in one championship can be elite in UFC caliber. Now, I'm going to read you the list. As you know, Demetrius Johnson defeated Cejudo, Benavidez twice, Moraga twice, Horiguchi, Dodson twice. Now, I'm going to name all the other people Demetrius Johnson defeated, but you have to look at how advanced flyweight is. Flyweight has always been, as a division, ahead of the game. They've been the most well-rounded fighters, the best strikers, best grapplers, best wrestlers. Now, Horiguchi is still in the UFC, mind you. He's still ranked, fighting against competition. If he beats Kopp, he can fight Van for the title. I mean, this is a huge deal, right? So when you look at fighters that Demetrius Johnson has beaten, some of them are still in the UFC ranked, like Elliott, right? Tim Elliott is a good example. People that Demetrius Johnson have defeated people in the UFC flyweight rankings. So I'm going to give examples. Horiguchi defeated Kopp. I'm not sure if it was in Ryzen or what MMA promotion it was. Was it Ryzen?
I'm
Or
not. I'm kind of a
Horiguchi?
casual. I'm not gonna lie. So that's why
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna defer to
Horiguchi
you.
defeated Kopp, and he's going to rematch him. I'm not sure if he's going to fight him in the UFC Apex, but a few weeks from now, he's going to rematch him. Kai Asakura is now in the UFC, and Horiguchi defeated him. Kai Kara France lost against Makamitsu Wada, who Demetrius Johnson defeated in one championship. So Wada defeated KKF. Mind you, KKF isn't an active fighter, but he's still signed with the UFC to come back. He was ranked in the top 5 before he took his temporary leave. Ray Borg lost to Demetrius Johnson, as you know, the flying armbar. He defeated Rogero Bontarin, which was number 8th ranked in 2021. Obviously, he's not fighting in the rankings anymore of the UFC, but you get what I mean. Now, Dustin Ortiz, Demetrius Johnson defeated. Ortiz defeated Alexandre Pantoja. Alexandre Pantoja, the former flyweight champion and number 1 ranked contender, hopefully to face Joshua Van in a rematch. Mateus Nicolau used to be ranked, but he was also defeated by Ortiz. And when I look at DJ's resume, it's like, okay, I understand that John Jones, yes, he fought the highest caliber of fighters. I'm not denying that. But when I see the fighters that DJ fought, some of them are still in the UFC and ranked. And the fighters that DJ defeated people that are still in the UFC rankings to this day. So it's not to shit on Jones's resume or career overall as a fighter. That's just my analysis. If you're still, I mean, if the people he beat are still running the UFC, that says a lot about his title reign and how far ahead as a fighter he was compared to the rest of the division.
See, the only thing I'd say to that is like John Jones is like he like looks like he fights in a lower weight class because of the way that he moves and stuff. So
Mm-mm.
if he was like one of these tinier guys with his power, I feel like he would be able to. I feel like his game would translate to a lot of the lower weight classes. So that's kind of my only thing. Demetrius Johnson was definitely one of my favorite fighters when I was growing up. So, I mean, I have no hate on him, but
Yeah.
the goat. I mean, you got GSP too, arguably.
No, I understand that, but I look at let's look at GSP and Jones, right? So Jones defeated Gon. We know Gon can't wrestle for shit.
Hmm.
Why do you think he poked Aspinall in the eyes? I mean, there was no way he was going to stuff that takedown unless he raped his eyes, you know?
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, here's the thing. Gon is not a well-rounded fighter. He's a good striker. Jones whooped his ass. Francis whooped his ass. Francis had no knees and still beat Gon. Right? Now, Gon is a good fighter. I'm not going to act like he's not elite, but arguably Volkov defeated him. Right?
Hmm.
Every time Gon has a big moment, he loses. That's not to take away from Gon, but I also look at GSP. GSP defeated Michael Bisping, of all people, to
Yeah.
get the belt. Right? And I understand he had the one eye and all that. Michael Bisping arguably lost his rematch with who was that one guy? Was it Henderson? Dan Henderson.
Hmm.
Dan Henderson was washed. There was no way the fight should have gone the way it did. Right? Jones, yes, Gon is a good win. You know, I'm not going to undermine it, but his first title defense against a washed Stipe, it could have been Aspinall, Sergey Pavlovich, Francis Ngannou. Out of all the people, I mean, Ngannou was gone by that time when Jones was holding the belt. It's just, I felt when I looked at Jones' first title defense in heavyweight compared to Demetrius Johnson's flyweight title defenses in one championship, you know, it's just really disappointing. Like when I see DJ in his double champ status, right? And I know that one championship in UFC has different set of rules. That the weight classes will be like a weight class under. So 155 would be like featherweight in one championship, and 145 would be featherweight in UFC. So it's like Jones has defeated the best of the best and then came back and defeated the best of the best. But Gustafsson twice, it won that fight instead of a Gustafsson rematch in 2017 or 2018, rather, it should have been Anthony Rumble Johnson, right? Jones has had so much potential and has lived up to his potential, but there was so much more we could have seen from Jones. Like when I look at DJ, I look at his career and I say that's complete, right?
Yeah.
Jones versus Aspinall, Jones versus Pereira. It feels like I'm watching like a what if episode. It's like watching Zabit Magomed Sharipov, that Dagestani karate guy. I mean, the craziest fights we've seen from him. He's used moves that we've never seen in the UFC before. And he obviously Jones won 2 belts in 2 different weight classes. We've seen a lot from Jones, but what I'm trying to say is we could have seen more. Dimitri tested himself, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there are questions where could DJ have defeated prime Cody Garbrandt or prime TJ Dillashaw because he was whooping it up in the flyweight division, but
I'm a
he
Cody
didn't get
hater.
the chance to move.
I'm a Cody hater.
No, I understand. I understand. You know, the guy was cocky, talked his shit, and now look at where he is. But I can't lie. Cody at the time had the fastest hands. He was something that he was a prospect, right? He was something we were like, whoa, undefeated. He's young. He's got the looks. He's got the timing. He's got the emotes. Everyone was like laughing it up. And then him and his TJ Dillashaw beef was perfect. It was perfect marketing for the company. But like when I look at Jones, there's so much that's unfinished. And I don't want to go on a rant and shit on Jones because his career was amazing. Obviously, people are going to talk about PEDs. Look, I'm going to make this disagreement that we have easier. I mean, how many fighters busted for PEDs at this point? Islam,
Like
Costa,
80%.
Romero.
Like
You know
all
what I
the
mean?
best
Even the
ones.
people who, oh yeah, even the people who haven't been, tested for it or haven't gotten a positive result out of it, eventually they'll get caught, right?
Hmm.
We've seen a lot of people in even Habib's camp get caught for it. But the point is, I mean, people are going to use drugs for recovery and stuff. It's only natural, but a limited amount. Even Lewis talked about the UFC giving him peptides. I love Lewis, but when I look at Jones, I'm like, there were people he should have fought. Like the people that DC fought when DC fought Uzdemir, should have been Jones who fought Uzdemir, but he fucked up with the law. He did a whole bunch of stupid shit in his career. I'm like, damn, Jones should have fought him. Jones could have fought this guy. Why did Jones have a rematch with this guy? Jones should have fought Rumble. Jones should have fought the Uzdemirs of the division. Jones, and who was that other guy that he was really good in light heavyweight. But Santos. I mean, he fucked up his knees. Santos has never been the same. But when I look at Jones, I'm like, why did he fight this guy and not that guy? This guy should have gotten the title shot instead of him. But I understand his resume is amazing. I'm not gonna doubt that or trash his career as a fighter. But when I look at DJ, it's like he was the most well-rounded, one of the most dominant fighters. Even the fighters he lost against, like Cruz and Brad Pickett and Adriano Moraes and Henry Cejudo in the rematch, people argued Cejudo arguably lost the fight. People saw the fights that DJ lost. Every fight he had, whether he won or lost, was always competitive, right? That's a huge deal breaker for me. And another thing I wanted to say is he beat Benavidez twice. Benavidez defeated Perez, who's still ranked in the UFC today. So I'm saying, like, when we look at flyweight and how ahead of the game DJ was, he beat people who beat people that are ranked. So, I don't want to repeat myself, but I look at the people Jones fought. A lot of them are old or retired. And Glover, he's not in the UFC anymore. Gustafsson isn't in the UFC anymore. DC isn't in the UFC anymore. OSP isn't in the UFC anymore. Rua was a legend, but I look at these guys compared to the opponents that DJ fought. Yes, Jones fought killers, don't get me wrong. Rampage and everybody. But the guys that DJ fought, some of them are still fighting. Yeah. Even Dodson, he's in Ryzen, he's in bare knuckle, he's doing MMA and bare knuckle. That's insane. You know what I mean? How good is Demetrius Johnson? So I understand why Jones is the GOAT and the former champions he's beaten, but DJ was so good, there's not a lot of flyweight champions. Yeah. You know what I mean? They couldn't touch the belt. So, you can call me a glazer and whatnot, but that's why I feel.
No, I mean, he's a great fighter. I don't know. I kind of also have like a bias towards the heavier weights because I like to see people get knocked out. So I like the heavy hitters.
No, I get that.
You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm a casual. You probably know more about the technicalities of stuff than I do, but we'll move on from the fighting segment and go right into the politics. So you said you got suspended from school over politics. Like, is there anything specific that happened, or like what?
I made a podcast video with a black gentleman. I had to blur his face out because people started posting stuff on Instagram, and they were calling me coon on some like app that they use for college or some shit. And it was really funny. And then some black kid said, "Hey, Dylan, they're posting about you on because St. John's is where I used to go to in Queens. They're posting about you on this website." I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then like people that I hung out with, "Hey, do you hang out with him? Hey, are you roommates with him?" It was very hard for them because essentially people would get interrogated and bashed for even knowing my name or being associated with me. And obviously the school decided to suspend me because it wasn't my first situation dealing with that. I've been called racial slurs many times before and insulted by black students. I'm like, okay, these are the most racist motherfuckers ever. So I try to make examples out of that, right? They'll prove my point by calling me racial slurs and by being cowards about it. I can make a video and say nigger in front of a camera and say nigger's off. Stop acting barbaric like this. And people wouldn't, perceive the black community as such. Because like I said to Crispy Moist before when I was talking to Noah, the most educated black men, the most successful black men that have class, who do they go for? A white chick. They don't go for a black woman.
Yeah.
When black women make themselves undesirable, fuck you, niggas ain't shit. And then you wonder why your own men don't want to fuck you. Oh, I'm too much to handle. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'll go for a woman that's more feminine, white or Asian woman. Let me talk to a woman who isn't a total bitch and insults my entire existence. A lot of black people don't like it when I talk like that, but it's the truth. It's sad. We could look at successful, well-spoken, handsome black men right now. Demetrius Johnson, yes, I'm a glazer. White wife. Dejan Reed on the far right side of politics. White wife. Joel Patrick, more of a MAGA guy. I'm not really a MAGA person. I don't consider myself one, but he has a white wife. The list really goes on. RG3, well-spoken black guy, very calm and collected, respectful, white wife. So you look at the pattern of successful black men, you can name more. They always go for that white woman.
Yeah, well,
as soon as a Negro
Yeah, I mean, the first two things a black dude does when he gets a little bit of money: move to a white neighborhood, get a white wife. It
Yeah, doesn't want to
happens
die, wants
every
to live the
time.
best life. Give his kids, a good
Yeah,
life. You can't really blame the black man. And obviously, I like the way Andre Williams said it, right? And it really hurts me because when I say intelligent black man, Andre Williams is an intelligent black man who's married to a black woman. But what do people call Andre Williams? Sorry, I'm sweating like a motherfucker over
yeah,
here.
me
But
too.
yeah, man, I'm like drenched. I got that shiny, like light
I
skin
haven't put my
lust.
AC in yet, so
Yeah, but this is going to be good. But Andre Williams, he's a successful black man, but he's married to a black woman. But when he talks about issues of the black community, he's called a coon or a house nigger and gets threats from people. And it's sad because when black people talk about issues of the black community, it's always insults rather than results.
mhm.
Rather than uplifting each other and having love for each other, pro-black people are the most anti-black ever. It's like black people could do nothing wrong and it's always the white man's fault. And I'm sick of that. As someone who's part black, it's embarrassing being part black. I'm like, I got to share DNA with these motherfuckers, man. They make me look bad. I'm not one of you, but oh, I'm black, vote Democrat. Okay, I'm a nigger and a sellout, and I want the white man's validation. No, I've had better experiences with white people. Most of my friends are white. Does that mean I hate other races? No, but I am sick of the niggery behavior from black people. And then I've had white people not want to be around me because they get offended for black people. You're making the whole race look bad. No,
Yeah,
I'm not. You're not black. You're getting offended for them. I can't stand white people that are cucks. I don't like nigger lovers. I've been saying this for a long time. It's annoying because I'm like, you're not even black and you live in a suburban neighborhood. Shut the fuck up. I have lived in a suburban neighborhood with black and Indian people and white people, mainly white and Indian though. I have lived in black neighborhoods before. Shitty experience. They don't listen. Loud music, loud sports, screaming. Neighborhood smells like weed. I don't need to hear your whole conversation. I don't care who eats your pussy out or what your sex life is like. That's things black people talk about in public. You're in the subway. You're in the laundry room of a college dorm of predominantly black people. They say stupid shit. I don't need to hear that. You could be more respectful when you're in public. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to argue. You don't always have to resort to violence. Oh, you're going to let him disrespect you like that? Well, look, I'm not the type of person to get emotional. If I punch someone in the face, it doesn't change the fact that they still think the way they do about me. And if anything, people are going to become more racist towards black people because, again, accountability is like impossible, especially when it comes to black women, too. So it just really sucks. I look at all these issues, the baby mamas, they complain about white people adopting their babies. How about you take care of your baby, Taquisha? How about instead of starving your kid and having popping your pussy for any man that comes your way and having sex with bums, rather than being with the boring guy, that boring guy is going to love you more than, Tyrone over here. That's the problem. They procreate irresponsibly. They can't afford to take care of themselves. They don't know how to take care of themselves. Let alone when they bring a child into the world, it just fucks up the kid. And then when they end up being a gang member because they want to have that father in their life they so desperately wanted. And even with black women, when they never had a dad in their life, they'll treat their son really good and they'll treat their daughter like shit. You know what I mean? It's really weird. And the need for male validation, but their hatred for men. But then they wonder why a man doesn't want to go anywhere near them. A man doesn't want to deal with that type of dysfunction. So I understand why a black man goes to an Asian woman or a white woman. It's an escape from his hell. I do think black men should take accountability rather than fucking women and treating, you know what, fucking bitches. We're going to use that term because it's disrespectful to women to compare, you know what I mean, high valued women to people low like that. Rather than fucking bitches, actually have sex and procreate with someone you love.
hmm
Don't just use someone. When you look at a lot of black women too, they go with complete assholes and then they complain niggas ain't shit. Men that are high class aren't going for black women most of the time. A lot of race of men find black women the least desirable. Now you notice, I even said this with Noah earlier with Crispy Moist. I was talking with Noah. I said, you know those videos where black women will go online and complain about black women that date white guys? I'd argue that the black women that date white guys are actually really pretty. People don't like to admit it, but I will. And they have that look in their eye, according to black women. Women got that look in their eye when they date a white man. You know what that is? She's happy.
yeah, right.
It's sad. She's happy. That's the best she's ever been treated in her life. So it's sad to say that. And I'm not trying to put a superiority complex on white people and say blacks are horrible. But to be honest, when it comes to dating, blacks are the least desirable. And when a white woman goes with a black guy, black guys know white chicks are easy. They're an easy fuck. I don't mean to say that in a degrading way. I do like white women. They're my type. I'm not here to fucking use someone. I want something special with my partner. But with black men, a lot of them know white bitches are easy pussy. You know what I mean? It's especially when women get hit. Let's be honest. White women are the easiest to abuse and manipulate. Why? Oh, you don't understand him like I do. Oh,
Hmm.
you don't get him. You just don't know him. This is the best I can do, or this is what I deserve, or oh, eventually it'll get better. It's always excuses from white women because a lot of them are fucking stupid. A lot of them hate their dad. They didn't have a strong masculine model, a strong male role model in the house. They don't know what to look for in a man because they didn't have a proper father. So then they go for a black guy who's broken. And a lot of these women, whether black or white, that date black men, a lot of them convince themselves that this dysfunction is masculinity. They don't know what real masculinity is.
Hmm.
They've never embraced that, which is why they're going with the Tyrone. Now, that white chick wants to get her dad angry, or this is her whore phase, get railed by a bunch of football teams worth of Tyrones, get plowed and jizzed in, and then eventually marry a white guy. I've seen this over and over and over with liberal white women and self-hating white women. They hate white men, never had a real man in their life, or hate their father, or want to piss off their father. Fuck you, dad. I'm going to get plowed, and I'm going to make little nigglets, and your grandkids aren't going to look like you or me. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's a rebellious whore phase or erotica sort of weird kink fetish. And I'm sick of that. Like, I don't like seeing a lot of interracial couples because it's for the wrong reason. And as a mixed person, when white people and black people think they know what's best for me, it's like, shut the fuck up. I've been around a lot of mixed people. A lot of them are mad bipolar and narcissistic and got issues. And a lot of, especially when it comes to people who are half black and white, or even if they're a quarter black, a lot of them are fags. They're like zesty shit. They're womanizers. And a lot of them know they're good looking and get away with the shit they do. Now, there's a whole lot of other issues like light skin versus dark skin. You're not black enough the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you look, the way you dress. That's a whole other thing. But that's kind of my view when it comes to interracial dating. I'm not going to look at someone and say, ew, that's disgusting. But I'm going to look at you and I'm like, I know you're a much dark whore. Like, I could tell which white chicks are just in it for the dick and have trauma. And I could tell which ones actually like the black guy. You know what I mean? Same with vice versa. Is this like a kink or fetish, or do you actually like that person? That's where I draw the line. I feel like interracial relationships most of the time aren't genuine and aren't like meaningful. So I didn't mean to go on a rant, but that's kind of like my political views on it. I think you should be with your own. You know what I mean? It fucks up your kid.
Yeah.
They don't have an identity or belonging. Like when you're white and Asian, it fucks you up, especially if you're white and black or black with anything, black with Asian, black with Indian, it fucks you up. You know what I mean? People don't understand. Like, it's hard to like feel a connection to a group of people that aren't really your people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, me right now, I definitely am very against mixing, especially with white people, just because of the population decrease, especially. But I mean, I think you're dead on there. It kind of, I mean, I feel like it would give you like this sense of unbelonging in the world, which is, never good for your development or anything like that. And going back to what you're saying, like when black people are moving out of these black neighborhoods because the worst place for a black person to be is in a black neighborhood because they're the sole victims
yeah,
of black crime. That's what they do. And a lot of the pro black content creators, like you were saying, they're actually anti-black. They're advocating for things that are worse for the black community. And people like you and Andre Williams, you guys are being critical of your culture because that is better for the overall culture. When you have these black people like, oh yeah, I'm glad Austin Metcalf died, just stab him. It's like you're literally like you're putting your own culture down by telling people to do bad things that put them in prison and ruin the overall culture. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but that's kind of my
yeah.
take
I
on
just
though.
want, yeah. So I just want to make sure. But yeah, like my situation is black people can never be in the wrong. That's what really pisses me off. It's always fighting words. It's always he owes me, or it's always Whitey's fault. Whitey's so bad, but you rely on his tax money to have a basic living rather than having sex with a man that you love. You'd rather use the white man's tax dollars. It's sad. you know that white boy deserved it. Meanwhile, you don't even know the story or what happened, but because he's white he deserves to die, yet you say white people is racist. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the type of person to put my hands on someone, but when I actually like think about black people and like what I know about a lot of the times, because there's a difference between hardworking genuine black people and niggers. Like, Carmelo Anthony's a nigger. He carried a knife on him. There's no reason to carry a knife on you on school property, right? On those types of grounds.
Hmm.
He had the intention to do it, and I could prove it. Especially like when I looked at the testimony and everything, the kid that Carmelo Anthony claimed was his friend, that kid only hung around him to hang out with his girlfriend, with with Carmelo Anthony's girlfriend. That was the only reason he was around him. You know what I mean? He was only around him because he was friends with the girl. He wasn't even close with Carmelo like that. Now, I don't blame the two white boys, the Metcalf brothers, for not wanting him to be. Look at how he acted. When I push someone out of my way, it's because they're in my face and I don't want them in my face. But black people's reaction, nah, fuck this nigga. Let me stab this white bitch right here. And that's what happened. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not the type to put my hands on people, but I've been pushed all the time when I was a kid. I've been punched. I had people attempt to punch me. So I'll hit them first before they hit me. But that's not what happened. They pushed his black ass because they didn't want him in there because, look, he caused trouble. Typical. So it's annoying because, like, you can't de-escalate a situation with a lot of black people. It's just emotional. They cuss you out, insult you, and call you slurs. That's how it always is. I don't blame Metcalf for putting his hands on the black kid. A lot of times it's hard to talk to black people. It really is. You try to get you try to be rational with them in any way, it always turns south. He's like, you know what? Fuck this little nigga. Get the fuck out of my tent. I don't want you near me. And then he stabbed him. He pushed you to get you away from him. He wasn't trying to bully you. He away.
Yeah,
I want
he
you
didn't
to
follow up with any blows or anything like
yeah, it's
that.
just push. So slap really, and then black people defend. It's not self defense. He pushed you. He wanted you away from him because he knew you'd react in a barbaric way. It's not racist to have pattern recognition, you know. So yeah, like if he pushed you or like grabbed you and tried to hit you, that's different. If he tried to hit you and wail on you, that's different. But he did a simple push. If someone pushes you over and over and over, okay, fine. But it's one push. It's one. I've been pushed. All right, you know what? I was in his face. I need to de-escalate. When people get in my face, get the fuck out of my way, bro. You're chimping out, act like a nigga right now. Calm down, Jigaboo. You know what I mean? Because black people get all up in your face. Shit, nigga. Shit, bitch ass nigga. I'm like, get the fuck out of the way, Jigaboo, bro. Like, Negro, relax, all right? Don't make me get the whip and get master now. Look at how you're fucking acting. So it's like, it's really annoying. You can't act like an animal and expect people not to treat you as such. Y'all a bunch of assholes. Move me and see what happens. Y'all ain't gonna move me. Okay, what do you mean? What's gonna happen if I move you? Well, why is it a threat? Is there a follow-up? What are you going to do to me if I do this instead of what you want me to do? It's this childish mindset, you know what I mean? As if I owe you. Nah, fuck you, man. Like, you know what I mean? I hate that shit.
Yeah, no, and a
So,
lot of black people too, they'll be like, "Oh, I wish white boy would say nigga to my face. See what I'll do." It's like that's exactly why we won't do it. It's like
that's
because
why
I
I
don't
don't
want
want
to
to. I
just
don't put
die
Black
over a
Lives
word,
Matter.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Over a
exactly.
word, you're gonna chimp out and get arrested for a fucking word for what? You don't understand the historical context where you're proving the slave master right. You're acting like a nigger right now, bro.
It's
Like,
like
you know what I mean? I hate that shit.
shit, man.
Yeah, man.
See what I do if he say that shit. And it's like, bro.
Yeah, man, I'll just call up the cops. I'm not trying to. I'll shoot first, ask questions later. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so retarded. Like, why are you trying to like instigate and create violence and conflict every time? Why can't we just talk like human beings? Oh, they don't treat us like human beings. You know, they got bulletproof glass in the Dunkin' Donut. Yeah, I wonder why they have bulletproof glass in the Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I mean? It's not like,
Hey,
you know. So it's
the sunscreen isn't locked up at the store. I'll tell you that.
yeah. Neither are the books. So I mean, fuck. You know. So,
uh,
um,
the Plan Bs are
yeah,
though.
man.
Um,
Yeah,
but
man. Honestly, hide your money in books. See if
yeah,
they
right.
steal books. Niggas don't steal books, bro. But fuck.
So, if you successfully spread your message, you know, what would that final outcome look like for you?
Man, I just want to I want to talk to people. I just want to hear stories. I like interviewing people and hearing them out. Growing up, I've always been a huge MMA fan, and I'm a huge fan of Demetrius Johnson. He follows me on Instagram. He doesn't agree with my political views. He's not left or right. He's his own thing. He's focused on his family. Demetrius Johnson is the type of black man that I strive to be. As a mixed person, like I love the way he looks at his wife. That's love. You know, when I met them in person, his wife was really nice. She compliments my curls. She said, you know, your curls are kind of like my kids, like Maverick and Tyron. And DJ was very nice. He complimented me, shook my hand. He gave me advice. He said, stay in school. You know what I mean? He said, don't waste your time on menial things. Focus on your family and what matters, your career. I should have listened to him. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gotten kicked out of school. But I am a huge Demetrius Johnson fan because he's always giving me advice. He doesn't agree with the things I do. He understands that there are issues in the black community. Him as a black man married a white woman, but it's real love those two have. You know what I mean? Like if race mixing was like that, where it's like, hey, a black man falls in love with a white woman, and Demetrius Johnson was nervous about becoming a father. Why? He even said himself in an interview, and even when I talked to him, he doesn't know how to be a dad. He didn't really have that dad in his life. Meanwhile, he did have father figures like stepfather or other people in his life, right? He had father-in-laws and everything, and even eventually met his biological father in 2017. But what I like about DJ, he wanted to be the father for his child that he didn't have growing up. I love it when a black man says something like that because that's huge. You know what I mean? A lot of black kids need their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
But I like DJ because like he grew up in the hood. He speaks very proper. But when he starts saying slang, you don't expect it out of him because he's very soft spoken. But like, yeah, I love DJ because like he's been like a huge role model to me. He's very respectful. very polite. I hope to succeed and achieve what he has. I'm not saying I'm going to be a UFC champion, but like the influence he has, I love, like his vibe, like how he talks to people in the MMA community. DJ gets along with everybody. You know what I mean? There's no hate. It's always love. And that's what I love about the MMA community. And as a mixed kid, like when I look up to DJ, seeing someone that somewhat looks like me, of course he gets the beard. I don't, I'm struggling in this department, but I can relate to DJ on a lot of levels, because he's like this goofy guy. He's got a sense of humor. He's always up and ready. He's very disciplined. He's always excited and ready to take on a new challenge. So that's why I've been a huge MMA fan. And being able to meet, they say don't meet your heroes. I'm glad I got to meet mine. But to get back to this and get off my tangent, I know I have to talk about this. I have to be the one to talk about it because I feel like mixed people don't have a platform. And my goal isn't to represent mixed people, but to share like the thoughts inside of my head, because people look at us. Sometimes we're either really ugly or we're like exotic. We catch the eye. You know what I mean? So to share those experiences when I make my videos, my autistic Negro rants, it's what's going on in my mind. It's how, as a mixed person, like I deal with life. Yeah, I have to have this humor. I say crazy shit. Not everyone wants to hear it. You don't have to like it. You could always leave. People are very sensitive about very like insensitive topics, if that makes sense. Like people don't realize by being sensitive how insensitive they're being. This is how I cope. This is how I live my life. This is how I combat my obstacles. Because like I said, I could be suffering on the inside, but I have a bright smile on my face, right? So that's the type of person I am. When I try to face adversity, I just keep it real. This is who I am. This is what I say. If you don't like that about me, fuck off. I'm not going to keep you hostage. But people hang out with me and then they're so shocked when I tell them ahead of time, hey man, I'm a red flag. I do and say crazy shit. And then they're so shocked that I am who I say who I was going to be and who I will always will be. A crazy motherfucker that says a lot of out of pocket things. I have the personality of like the whitest Negro you'll ever meet. And I'll say it again because people don't understand. I'm like an out of pocket white guy, but niggerish a bit. So, that's kind of like how I roll.
Yeah, I think a big thing about like being in MMA as well is that it kind of teaches you, like once you know you can fuck people up, it kind of gives you this calm demeanor about yourself where you kind of like learn to take things as a joke because you don't actually want to put yourself into those kinds of situations. I mean, I only wrestled and did jujitsu for 10 collective years, but like when you know you have some sort of edge on most people, you kind of learn to just like like not internalize everything and just be more like flowy and get
Yeah,
along
you
with
just
everyone
live
because
your
you don't
life
want to have to
more
fuck someone
fluid.
up. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you
you
know
don't
you're
like
gonna do
you can
damage.
look in the past,
Exactly.
but like you don't need to do it. It's not necessary. I
I,
don't feel the
I
need to fight. I don't want to hurt you. Yeah,
exactly, and I feel like that's such an important thing. A lot of people, I feel like almost everyone would actually benefit from getting into martial arts because
absolutely.
it does give you that kind of zen within yourself to like you're gonna fuck someone up, so you're just like, yeah, bro, you got it, bro. Like, and yeah, I mean, so I wanted to ask you as well. I saw a video you did about race swapping characters, and I just wanted to kind of get your overall opinion on like race swapping, the fagification, and
Yeah.
the race mixing kind of propaganda within pop culture recently.
Yeah, yeah. So the way I see it is like, okay, black people complain about cultural achievements, don't take credit for other people's shit. Like when I see black people saying, shit, nigga, we was the Moors, we was the Jews. Okay, why is sub-Saharan Africa a shithole for the most part? There are nice parts of Africa, but I am gonna be honest. Like when I do my history, I've always loved history and genetics in different groups. I'll look at the North Africans. All right, let's entertain the black Afrocentrists and all these Gen Xers retards. I think everyone was black at one point. The ancient North Africans were of darker skin, but we've seen Indians, they're darker skin, they're not black. So let's really get into it, right? So the Ibero-Mauritians, these are people who had 64% ancestry from the Middle East and 36% ancestry from sub-Saharan Africa. They weren't even fully black. But guess what happened? Thousands of years of migrations. We had the Anatolian farmers, the Neolithic, the Paleolithic, the Dazuana peoples from the Caucasus, from Georgia, modern day Georgia, mix in with this ancient North African Ibero-Mauritian, right? So modern North Africans, the Amazigh peoples, their ancestors had Levant DNA before the Arab Muslims came over. So here's the truth. They are not black. Modern Amazigh people will be 3 to 10% black. If I'm 2% Chinese, does that mean I'm Chinese? No, that's just being retarded to identify as Chinese at that point. I'm not 2% Chinese, but I'm just making an example. So when I see the wee wuzzery, I'm sick of that niggerish bullshit, right? I've even seen a video online of someone saying that like Hitler was black. I'm like, yo, like
Yeah,
when
I
black
just
people
saw
say,
that.
yeah. It's like why? I even talk to white people. I'm like, why did you get rid of slavery? Like, what were you thinking? Why did you do this? And then they start laughing at me because like sometimes I'm serious. I'm like, Negroes say some of the stupidest shit, and it's like you try so hard to like be respectful because you know it's not all black people, but it's always like the stupidest shit I've ever heard come out of someone's mouth
It's
is a
like
black person.
80% of them though.
80%. And like, don't get me wrong, there are retards when it comes to white people, when it comes to liberals and MAGA, but it's like, bro, it's mainly black people that really be causing problems on a daily basis, whether it's on the internet, whether it's death threats, whether it's calling me racial slurs, threatening to kill me. And I look at that, and I'm like, okay, so to get back to your question about the fagification, yeah, but that's an example. I don't like it when they take credit for other people's accomplishments. Make your own characters. Miles Morales, he's black, Puerto Rican, whatever. Puerto Ricans are part black, same shit. European and all the other ancestry, Taino, but to get to the point, Miles Morales is his own character.
Yeah.
Granted, yes, there's a white Spider-Man, but Miles Morales is his own character. Spider-Punk is his own character. You know what I mean? So when I see, because Nick Fury, I mean, he's a white character, but technically in the original comics, but eventually he became black. And okay, for a long time he's been black bald guy, whatever, right? So I look at Static Shock, he's his own black character, right? I see John Stewart, Green Lantern. Now, John Jones, who is John Jones, he was Martian Manhunter. He disguises himself as a black man. Aqualad, the black Aqualad, like, you've seen in Young Justice growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. His name was Alderon or Calderon. That's the black Aqualad. So I've even made a video where I named numerous black characters as well, but black people just don't appreciate their characters, whether it's Static, whether it's Lightning, whether it's Thunder, whether it's Black Lightning, whether it's John Diggle. I mean, the list goes on. I'm not going to name every single black hero and black character. Even Bronze Tiger, he's an anti-hero. We've seen him in, for example, like Suicide Squad specials. But like, I just want black people to appreciate their black characters, right? Stop taking a white character and turning it black. Like when I saw what they did in the Batman Amazon Prime Video show, I don't want a black Barbara Gordon. Same thing with in the show, not the show, the 2022 Batman with Rob Pattinson. I don't want a black Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon's white. That's an unnecessary change. Now, a lot of people will argue, well, these are fictional characters. Why do you care? It's unnecessary. I'm not going to protest and cry my eyes out over it and bawl out over it. But imagine if Henry Cavill decided to be Black Panther and they made him white. People would shimp out. Okay, this is George Floyd BLM riots. When I see, hold on, what's that? It's Greek mythology. You know exactly what I'm talking
Helen
about.
From Troy.
Helen from Troy. I don't want to see a bunch of Negroes. I want to see Mediterranean-looking people.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Now, are there Greeks that are Middle Eastern and more European and Nordic looking than other people? Yeah.
But
right?
they're definitely not black, though.
They're definitely not fucking sub-Saharan. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. They have, I'd argue, I look more Mediterranean than those black actors. I'm not saying to have me on there. I look more Moroccan passing, but I am saying people that have like my type of eyebrows, way lighter skin to me, curlier black hair. You know what I mean? If you get a few blondes, yeah, I've met blonde Greeks. That is a thing. I've met Greeks that have brown hair, black hair. I met Greeks that look like they're from Lebanon. I met Greeks that look more Albanian. There are Greeks that look more Macedonian. Get people from the Balkans and from certain areas in the Mediterranean. Don't get black actors and actresses. That's retarded. I want historical accuracy. Black people weren't in fucking ancient Greece, bro. Black people weren't, like fucking gladiators in the Colosseums in Rome. You know what I mean? Like, black people weren't the Moors. Black people were not Hannibal. You know what I mean? In the Punic Wars. So Cleopatra was fucking Macedonian too. Like, she wasn't even black. The ancient Egyptians are different from sub-Saharan Africans. You look at Coptics, and I look at these Afrocentrists. I'm sick of them taking his credit for shit that isn't theirs. And to go with the fagification and the forced race mixing, the fagification is really retarded overall. I don't need Kathleen Kennedys in every industry. Now, I'm glad Disney made their move and, she basically fucked up Star Wars. They should have went with George Lucas's comics. I don't need black space lesbians destroying it and ruining the entire franchise of Star Wars. I look at this, I'm like, Anakin was the only child that was force bound. That's what made him unique, created by the Force. why the fuck are these like ooga boogas lesbians spawning these babies? Like, what the fuck is going on here? This isn't Star Wars. This is just pure retardation.
Yeah.
Make it lame, make it gay, and make it black. That's basically what Kathleen Kennedy did. If black people are going to get representation, and same thing if you're going to put a gay character in the show, I don't care if the character is gay, but don't like make it their whole and only personality. I don't care if the character's black, but like give them a purpose.
Yeah.
Don't just put them in. Just put some random Negro in there. Like, for example, with the second season of Squid Game, the tranny character I didn't have a problem with. They weren't super gay and like in your face about it. They were like a character. I'm like, okay, this is a decent character. You know what I mean? It didn't feel forced. With the black characters, I just don't want them to feel forced. I want them to feel natural and have a role and be relatable. I like characters that are relatable. It's like, yo, this is deep. This is a philosophical character. Yo, this character is a rebel and reckless. Kind of like me, I'm reckless. You know what I mean? So for the fagification, yeah, it's just really annoying. Not everything has to be gay. And if it is, stop putting it in kids' shows. Stop putting it in Peppa Pig. Don't put it in the Transformers show. Oh, I'm non-binary. You're retarded and you need to go in an insane asylum. Don't put that shit on my kids. So my kids, if I ever have, they're watching Ninjago, they're watching regular show. They're just going to be in a bunker with their, psychotic, schizophrenic dad, and he's just going to be playing cartoons from the old days. Now, I'm not going to be a nostalgic type of person. Look, I'm old. Those shows are over. But kids deserve to see good cartoons, like Ben 10, Ben 10, not Omniverse, but Alien Force, Ben 10, Ultimate Alien. You know what I mean? That shit I grew up with. I want my kids to watch shows that people put their heart into, that people enjoyed making, not this slop like this Ben 10 2016 reboot. These reboots suck ass, man. They suck donkey dick. Have you seen the new Powerpuff Girls and all that other shit? No. Like, these are horrible. Rushed animation, disgusting. Scooby-Doo back in the day was great. I miss Scooby-Doo from back in the day, but like, you know what I mean? I'm getting older. I can't just look at the past. I can enjoy some old video games and some old shows, but I'm old, man, So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's everything, though. Like, if you even look up new movies, like, literally there's no original movies that are good anymore. It's only, like, remakes of nostalgic shit, and then you only watch it because it's nostalgic. Like, there's actually no creativity in that space anymore,
original.
And it's all about pushing, like, gay shit or woman feminism bullshit. It's like,
and men being weak and pieces of shit and deserving to get cheated on.
Yeah, it's like I just want to watch some fucking good shit, man.
Watch a movie. I promise you, these it's so romantic, bitch. The woman's a whore in the movie and she cheated on her husband. What do you mean this shit's romantic?
Yeah, go watch Good Will Hunting and then tell me what romance is.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, man, with a lot of women too. It's like you find movies about cheating romantic. You know what I mean? Is women's ultimate fantasy cheating? And I'm not saying all women are horrible. I'm not a red pill guy. I'm not saying that they deserve to be chained in a kitchen and fucking raped or some shit. I'm not saying women are property. But I am saying it's like, man, women have like a twisted idea of romance. I'm like, motherfucker, every movie you like with romance, someone's getting cheated on. There's some underage.
Yeah, or there's like an abortion in it now. It's like, what are we fucking doing here, man? Every Lifetime movie ever. It's like, the guy's hard at work, and then she cheats on him because he's always away. Yeah, man.
I'm not these these crazy red pillars that are talking about raping women like it's normal. That's disgusting. I don't like that degenerate shit. Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, yo, you should have love for your woman, treat her as an equal, like the Bible says. But men and women are not equal the way they think. You know what I mean? So like, I do think some of these guys, especially on the internet scene, the red pill scene, need to get laid, and they definitely need to like talk to a woman and touch grass. But other than that, man, it's like, and the race mixing, it just really pisses me off because I'm mixed. I'm like, this just doesn't look right. Like, how could you date out of your race? Now, I understand if you're like Latin American or Hispanic, whatever. Okay, you're mixed race. Latin American isn't one thing. Like, this one dumbass, I'll never forget. I was talking about race mixing in a video, and I made a story. He said, I'm 100% Cuban. I'm like, retard. There's been sub-Saharan Africans enslaved in Cuba. There's been Taino tribes. There's been Europeans in Cuba. You're not 100% Cuban. Like, Hispanic need to stop saying that retarded shit. And same thing with the Hispanics that hate white people. You have a white man's last name and you're speaking a white man's language. Yes, there's different dialects. But Spanish and English came from the white man. It came from Europe. So when I see people shitting on white people, it's like, bro, like the literally, I'm going to tell you, the hate on white people is so forced. The most hateful groups are minorities. Let me give you examples. Arabs don't like each other. They don't. They don't like other people from the Middle East. They don't like Persians. They don't like Turks. They don't like people in Eurasia and within their own space. Indians are some of the most racist horniest little fuckers you'll ever meet, bro. I'm not saying all are bad. I'm not saying to hate on the whole demographic of people. Look at the fucking
Indians are kind of well deserved in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of them guys.
I'm gonna be honest. they hate each other the most. Indians don't like Indians. They'll shit on each other just because they're slightly darker than one or slightly lighter than one or because of their last name and their status. The caste system has their country all fucked up. And yes, it still is a thing. I don't care if they say, oh, it's only in the past. A lot of them race mix. The ones that do race mix, it's mainly like the Gen Z Indians. A lot of them are race mixing. They don't like their own people. A lot of Indian women I meet hate their own men. They call them perverted and disgusting. Now, another thing is when people complain about racism, Arabs complain about racism, they're some of the most racist. Indians complain about racism, they're some of the most racist. Jews don't like other Jews. The most popular Holocaust deniers were literally Jewish people. Gerald Munihan, brother Nathaniel Kapner, even Bob Fisher. There are so many other names I could even name. Christopher David Cole, later changed his name to Stein. Karl Marx, well, he wasn't a Holocaust denier, but he didn't like Jews very much. So, I mean, like when you look at Jewish people throughout history, they hate each other. Even Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, he was a Holocaust minimizer, and he said that the number wasn't even 6 million, it was 3 million. It wasn't even 3 million, it was less than 3 million. So the people, the most hateful Jews, the most hateful group towards Jews are Jews. And I'd argue Jews are the most anti-Semitic people I've ever met. They don't like each other. They really don't like each other. They'll tax each other, even though their Talmud says not to tax each other. You go to Brooklyn, bro, Jews are always taxing other Jews. So, like, it's insane. Like, the people that complain about racism and bitch about white people, I'm like, bro, look at your own community. It's literally shit. You know what I mean? Like, people need to look in the mirror. And, yeah, and I'm not saying that to hate on anyone, but, like, as someone who's hung out with, like, other ethnic groups, a lot of the times my experiences with white people have been mainly positive. And a lot of times my experiences with black people have been negative. Not to hate on a race because people like to take shit the wrong way. But yeah, that's just me. I'm part black. And then white people it's mainly white women that give me problems too about this. And I'm like, bro, I'm part black. I'm allowed to say nigger. Like white women will literally get more uncomfortable around the word nigger than sometimes even black people. It's crazy. I mean, they won't stab me and kill me over it, but they'll just stand there awkward. Like, you shouldn't say nigger. Shut up. Like, your opinion doesn't matter to me. Make me a fucking sandwich, bro. Like, honestly, it's just annoying. Like, I don't understand. Like, how could you be non-black and get offended when you hear the word nigger? It's just really gay. So.
Yeah, no, I feel like you're seeing that, especially recently with white people as well, is that they're starting to become like super self-hating in their own group. Not all
It's
of us,
ultimate
but
agree.
like a lot
Like,
of, like you
mainly
said,
the
the women, it is.
women,
They're the
bro.
easiest to
Always the women.
propagandize, and that's what's happened. It's
Yeah.
been freaking Jewish
Especially in
propaganda.
election. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know. What do you think the biggest problem facing America is? And if you were the dictator, there's no Congress, no one has to
Yeah.
sign off anything. First three
Fat
laws.
motherfuckers got to go in concentration camps. I can't stand fat people.
Yeah.
They're just rude and entitled. You're not going to look like that and talk down upon me. No, no, no. We gotta starve you. We gotta give you that African method of losing weight. Man, what else would I do? I honestly, all the foreign aid that we give to certain countries, I'd honestly like take down most of it. I'd put it into our institutions, into our education system, help our homeless. If we can help some drug addicts, because drug addicts be some of the most narcissistic, destructive people ever, can't help them all. I want to help our homeless, our veterans. You know what I mean? There are people who literally sacrifice themselves for this country, their mental health and their physical body, and they don't have a pot to piss in or a place to stay. So our foreign aid that we give to Israel would be, definitely towards our veterans. I'd shut down SNAP and reestablish it, meaning if you're a single mother, you should be allowed to have benefits from the government, or a newlywed couple. I think you should have benefits.
Can I add a
I think
provision to that?
yeah.
If you're over 220 pounds, you're not allowed on food assistance.
I actually agree with that. You know what? That's perfectly valid. I would definitely have a lot of mass deportations. All these people, especially the Jewish communities in upstate and the black women that take a whole bunch of fucking food stamps and then brag about having the Louis Vuitton purse or brag about owning all these nice cars. Meanwhile, your car is worth more than your house. You're getting deported to sub-Saharan Africa. Like, you're not getting an option. I'm also going to deport Israelis that are, if you're Israel first to live in America, you're getting deported. I'm not dealing with that. If you're one of those Jewish communities like in upstate New York and like in New Jersey, you're getting deported. There's no reason you should be taking that amount of benefits and having 12 fucking kids like Tyler Oliveira's. Yeah, you're getting deported. There's no if, and, or but. You're his chosen people, as you like to say. This is your land. Well, it's promised to you right fucking now. Go back. Yeah, man. I mean, there's like a lot of that's mainly the two things I do. And then like with the racial tension, I'd actually make segregation optional. Like people should be allowed to
Yeah,
segregate,
definitely.
be in their own communities if they want to. If you feel out of place and you don't feel belonging, go with your own. Jewish people could do it. I think white people in Arkansas and other areas of America, white people should be allowed to do it. I don't think integration should be forced or segregation should be forced. It should be up to you if you want to live with your own kind or be mixed with other people. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, well, I think there was that black community thing in what was it, Georgia? I do believe. I could be
I
wrong.
believe
I think
so.
it was either
Yeah.
Georgia or Texas. They're completely fine. No one's hating on them. But then you have Return to the
Yeah.
Land. They're getting sued by
Yeah.
a black
It's
woman.
mainly Jewish people
Yeah,
that are really doing, Ashkenazi Jews.
and
Because Charlottesville,
I think a
continue.
big problem with the EBT, like you were saying, is like these black people will get the
Yeah, the
EBT and they
Shaniquas.
buy the
Yeah,
food and they sell it on Facebook Marketplace, like the nigga pickles and shit, the pineapples with the
yeah,
Kool Aid.
yeah.
I
The
call them
fucking
nigga
pineapple
pickles.
Kool-Aid retards.
I call them nigga
They
pickles.
really are. It's fucking retarded, yeah. I call them diabetes in a jar.
Yeah,
So,
but yeah, I think like
it's really cool.
they're getting all these benefits and then they sell it for
Yeah.
cash to do
And then
whatever.
sometimes they'll sell their EBT or kill other people for their EBT. The problem, even Andre Williams said it. The problem is with a lot of black people, they feel the need to show everyone everything they own. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to flex it, and then you get shot. The people you're showing off to are the ones who are gonna kill you. I really hate that shit.
Well, yeah, that's like with the thing with like the whole prom thing. Is like
Yeah,
black people are
yeah.
spending
You're
fucking
flexing
20
ten
bands
thousand
on a.
dollars.
They live in a Section 8 house. They're spending 20 bands on prom. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like,
How are you getting all this money?
why
How are
don't you
you
put it
affording
towards
these
a
credits?
college fund, man?
Yeah, and then by the time you try to get a college fund, you're broke. You know what I mean? You
Exactly.
have like a fucking 20 credit score if that's even possible. So, yeah, black people have numbers I've never seen on credit scores. I'm like, how could you get a credit score that low? How can you even own a credit card at that point? Like, I'm like, that's a negative. How are you
Yeah,
in the
well,
negatives? That's
it's got like a 40% APR, so
yeah, man,
that's
it's
the type
fucking
of credit cards they're getting.
yeah,
But
man.
what I wanted to ask you, what's your overall experience with the black community as a mixed person? Because you were talking about a little bit about it before, but
Like only black people that I've really a few people from school, mainly my family, have been the most supportive to me because obviously they don't agree with this content. They don't know I'm doing this, so they'll figure out later. It's the black people who've been the most supportive and loving in my life are my mom's side of the family. Black people in school have caused me issues, like in college and a few in high school. Growing up in like predominantly white neighborhoods, I felt more comfortable and I felt more of a belonging. When it came to black people, most of the time it's been negative, but I'm not going to ignore the minority either. You know what I mean? There has been a very positive minority: the Andre Williams, the Twangolas, the Elijah Jenkins, the black my black friends that I met, especially through school. I can't say their names because being associated with someone like me would, get them hurt. But yeah, I mean, it's been a wild ride, man. It's been a roller coaster, especially with the people who've been supportive. They agree with my views. Sometimes black people are afraid to talk about it. They're afraid to get ostracized. But if I'm not black or white, and if I'm both, I don't really have a community or a people. You know what I mean? I'm not going to prove to black people that I'm black like them. Because I'm not black enough to be black. The end pass is always going to be on standby. My black card is always going to be on standby. So then I thought to myself, it's like, yeah, fuck that. It's like I can say what I want. This is the issue in the community, whether you like it or not. This is how it is. And I think I think the black community should make an effort to fix it. I think white people should even call out the nigga behavior, but they're afraid of getting shot. So I think black people should really call it out more. But yeah, I'm an outcast. Even around mixed people aren't my people. They feel the need to have black validation to prove to black people that they're one of them and black enough to be one of them. I don't got time for that. I am my own person at the end of the day. I'm mixed race. If people get offended or angry that I acknowledge both my identities, you're just a retard. I'm obviously not white. I mean, look at me, but I'm obviously not fully black either. So, yeah, I don't understand why black people get offended when I say I'm mixed. I am mixed. I'm not going to just alienate my black side, the side that's been negative to me most of my life, and just act as if, the black side is my only part of me. That's just retarded.
yeah.
It is unfortunate that unfortunately my parents decided to be traitors to their own race, and my dad had horrible pullout game, but that's out of my control. So no, I'm kidding. But like, I love both my parents, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But it's just like this whole mixed shit really pisses me off because a lot of times I don't like how it's lust over love, and I think more people should be able to talk about it. And the people that give me the most shit aren't even mixed people. It's mainly fucking black people who call me self-hating, tell me to kill myself, and that I'm better off dead. And they prove my fucking point every time. It's like, bro, I'm this close to starting a Klan rally. Like, you're not really giving me much of a choice here. I'm playing. But like, it's the most hate I've received is some from black people, they just refuse to believe it. Their ignorance is truly like astounding. I've never seen anything like it. So
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, I might get a lot of flack for interviewing you. I mean, I've talked to Twan Gola. I mean,
and I'm part black,
Simon as well.
yeah.
But that's the thing is like, I'm a white nationalist. Obviously, I think the country should remain at least 90% white.
Yeah.
But when I see like people like you mixed or Twan who's more black appearing, like I like when you guys speak out and criticize the black community to be better because like at the end of the day for the time being we're like white people are stuck in the country the way it is
And
right
argue you're
now.
a minority in your own country.
Exactly, and we're stuck in this situation right now. So if black people just all got their act together, I have no racial hatred. I don't care if I'm around black people. It's the way that they act. So if you know more people like you could step up and actually, you know, fix the black community and their problems, you know, maybe one day my solution might never have to happen where we deport a bunch of
Yeah.
people from the country and you know that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I
I
appreciate
agree.
when people like you know, speak up and criticize and actually try to move the community in a better direction because like I said, I don't hate anyone. I just hate the way they act. And if they could just get their act together, it's all fun and games.
Then
I
we're all
mean,
good.
10
I
years ago,
agree.
I didn't give a fuck about any of this shit. So
Yeah, but now it's just getting worse. So we have to actually be able to
to the
make
point
this
where we have to
choice.
address it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We either have to go drastic or we could talk it out. Talking it out and trying to domesticate hasn't been seeming to work. But if we could really find a solution, that'd be great. And I do plan in a few minutes to talk to Simon LaPret and Grady. But God bless you, man. I do appreciate you for allowing me to utilize your platform. I'll send you all my socials, and I hope to do more work with you in the future.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk again soon, man. I appreciate
All
your
right,
time.
God bless.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.